Living in a quiet country neighborhood, you'd think your biggest worry would be fence maintenance or nosy deer. But when Karen, the self-appointed queen of the HOA, lives next door, privacy becomes a constant battle, especially when you're working undercover for the DEA. Yep, I'm not just your average, quiet guy with a barn. I'm a federal agent. And Karen, she just made a mistake that landed her on a federal watch list and almost tanked a major investigation. Let me take you back to the day she called 911 and had no idea who she was dealing with. As part of an ongoing investigation into a regional drug trafficking ring, the DEA set up a rural safe house and undercover lab for monitoring local activity. That lab was disguised as a small, weathered barn on a 20-acre lot, purchased in my name with a backstory of me being a retired chemist from Arizona. Karen, who ran the HOA with an iron clipboard, was suspicious from the start. She hated that my barn didn't match the aesthetics of the neighborhood, and she repeatedly demanded access for HOA inspection purposes. Each time, I politely refused. Private property, I'd remind her. HOA regulations don't extend to the interiors of barns. She hated that answer, and after 3 months of stewing, she decided to take matters into her own hands. It was a hot afternoon in July. I was in the barn coordinating surveillance data with the local DEA field office. Hidden in hay bales and old toolboxes were encrypted comms equipment, listening devices, and case files on a cartel shipment we were tracking. Suddenly, I heard shouting outside. "You can't keep hiding whatever illegal stuff you've got in there. The HOA has the right to inspect any structure on community land." I peeked through the slats and saw her, standing at the barn doors, phone in hand, waving a key she had illegally copied from a contractor months prior. Then I heard the beeping. She was dialing 911. "Yes, hello. I'm reporting suspicious activity at a neighbor's property. There are chemicals, locked doors, and he refuses to let me in. He could be making drugs." That's when I knew it was go time. 15 minutes later, 2 sheriff's deputies pulled into the driveway. Karen ran to them with exaggerated panic. "He's hostile. He's hiding something. I have HOA authority to be here." I calmly stepped out of the barn, badge in hand. "Good afternoon, officers. Special Agent Mark Rivas, DEA. I need to speak to you privately." The look on Karen's face when she saw the badge? Priceless. The deputies and I spoke out of earshot and verified credentials. They immediately backed off and asked if I wanted to press charges for trespassing and interference with a federal operation. I declined, for now. Instead, I turned to Karen and calmly said, "Ms. Delaney, your unauthorized entry and report just triggered a breach protocol in an active federal investigation. Congratulations. You're now flagged in our system." Her face turned pale. I didn't know. I was just trying to keep the neighborhood safe. You nearly compromised an undercover operation and put federal personnel at risk. Expect a call from our legal division." Turns out Karen had been reporting multiple neighbors for non-compliance with HOA rules. And in the process, she'd accessed private utility boxes, hacked security gates, and harassed delivery drivers she didn't recognize. So I filed an official interference report, and a week later she received a visit from a federal investigator. Not only did she lose her HOA presidency, but she was also issued a cease and desist from federal law enforcement. A rare but very real document that bars further interference. The final cherry on top, the barn stayed exactly as it was, and Karen's property flagged for sale 3 months later. Word around the neighborhood is she left for a quieter community. I'd say that was wise. The barn continues to operate under federal authority. Inconspicuously, of course. Most neighbors think I'm just a hobbyist woodworker who keeps weird hours. And the new HOA president? He waves, minds his business, and never asks to inspect anything. Smart guy.